Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All right, everything played out last night. I read about it, didn't really watch it. I and read transcripts, and it was a lot easier just to see the words and not have to listen to talking heads try to tell me what I'm supposed to be thinking or seeing. And the end result is Vivek, a Wall Street guy who's like 38 years old and worth over $500 million. Ate him alive because he's basically like a young Trump. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And believes in America and is very pro-capitalist and just much more organized. I know people get confused between capitalist and fascism. Fascism is in a very extreme socialist communist thing. For some reason, they want to add fascism as capitalism. I don't understand how, but they do. But it's not. So in the end result is he believes in free people and free will and free opportunity for all. And that's pretty much what capitalism is all about. Let the markets decide, not some bureaucrat, whereas fascism is a bureaucrat deciding everything. All right. There's a sip of the tea already with only 2 minutes into the webinar. Let's see what's going on. I don't see anybody on the chat line this morning. There was some really good excitement. We talked about it yesterday. That was NVDA and AMD. Let's see if we can get that on here too. You can see the dollar index on the left on J4X climbing as it has been. You can see it looks like the Indian rover / lander that landed on the moon about 20 some odd hours ago. Let me see. It has that same look, like it's taken off. It was very interesting. I was watching in their control room, and I was watching the direction. So it used a centrifugal force. I guess you could say it was go no go. Slowly orbited the Earth about a dozen or half a dozen times at least. Finally, slingshot itself to the moon, orbited around the moon for about 4 or 5 times, and then finally prepped to land. Did a fine job. I remember many of the Indian physicists at the Strings conferences have been very impressive, and and so whereas 24 hours before that, the Russian Federation tried to land something on the moon and crashed it into it. So I guess that's par for the course. When given the Russian Federation a chance, they want to blow something up more than they want to actually put something there peacefully. So I guess they were punching punching the face of the moon in the nose. I think that's the way to look at it. There's fascism. That's what fascism looks like. The Russian Federation. And obviously they are nowhere near comparison to the capitalism of America. So what else do we got to say about that? I guess NVDA, AMD. Let's put that up on the screen, on the one screen, and we can just show you real quick. Right there is the dollar index. Same thing on J4X, and right there, and the same thing on Chicago Quant's multi-chart. And now we go over to the let's do the third one. This is the Chicago Quant Technologies website, and let's take a look at the dollar index on that. I don't think it ever made it into the sell on that one, so it's been in a longer buy than the rest of them. Let's see where it's at. Dollar. We're getting a lot of things on that thing now. Let's see. We'll work our way down. Where is the dollar? Right there. As you can see, it's been climbing and climbing and climbing, and never really, I don't think it ever fell into the daily sell. Let's take a look and see right there. It stayed in the buy each time. Plus, got sore throat from that. Let's straighten that back out again. There we are. So it's been in a buy since back in August 7th. there was a minus there. See how it's yellow when it's minus, green when it's buy, green when it's buy. You know, it's been in there. It's been in the weekly buy. Fast has been in the weekly buy, just like on. Let's see if we can go back to that again. Right there. You know, it's been in the weekly buy since, what is that? That is the 4th. And that is the end of July. So the fast jumped up in the end of July on the Chicago Quant. I'm using this a lot, traders. And if you would like to be a beta tester, just contact Robin at Chicago Quant Technologies, and you can be a beta tester, because we want to kick the tires on this for a few months before we start charging for it. And let's see if we can find that our website again. Where is Chicago Quant Technologies? Why don't I have that thing saved? Chicago. Wait, I just start to type it in, it comes right up. I'm gonna bookmark it somewhere. I gotta bookmark that thing in trading. Let's do that. Trading. Save. Alright, let's move it over to here too. Oh, you can see it right there. That's right, you can see it. There's the phone number. Oh, no, you can't see it. Right there. So, let me just double check where I parked it in trading, because I'm tired of hunting it down until we get enough beta testers using this thing. Let's see, where are you at? Trading. I don't see it. Where I bookmarked it. Interesting. Now we'll park it somewhere else. So yes, that's the. Let's try parking it somewhere else. So let's see. Trading, charting. Oh, okay, that's where it is. Trading and charting. Save. There we are. All right. So yes, we could use some beta testers. Like you see what I'm doing. I'm loading my screen up with all kinds of different things every time, just to be, and then go back and compare it to multi-chart. But I see a lot of accuracy here. I'm not happy with the dots yet. We have to work that math on the dots, but we'll get that straightened out. But what I see is one of the most important things of all is the indicators here, the weekly and daily, are fine. So, what else can we say about all that? That's pretty much it when it comes to the dollar index. So now let's jump over to the euro. Let's see, euro on the wall. Let's see, right there. You see a little pressure still on it on J4X. That's another one we're having a problem with. Some of the currencies, the weekly's working, but the daily is not the right scale. Let's see if we can get that up there. You'll be able to see what I'm mumbling about right there. And the dots are not working on it either. And not the right scale. I guess if you go down the line, you can tell if it's in the. It should be in the cell, but it's not reflecting it. There's the cell right there. So we got to get that scale working right. The weekly is working right though. So we got the weekly in there, so that's good. And as you can see over here on J4X, you know, the product in the daily has been driving down from the basically the 113 area. And now we are at the 108 area. Let's see what the weekly looks like there. There we are. And so, you know, what else can we say about any of this? I guess, you know, what's that, 5 weeks now? 5 weeks in a cell. And on our fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks also. And on our multi-chart, which we're going to be leaving soon, I like that idea of leaving it. Let's find it again right there. Yes, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 weeks on the multi-chart. Climbed in at the beginning of the week, but still, it's 4 weeks. I have a lot. I find this one because of the data feed that we're using for it. is it's a 15-minute delayed data feed. It's got a lot more accurate information because of it. And then we'll figure a way of connecting it up to live data if the individual wants to pay for it. But it won't be that tough. All right. From there we go to the cable. Now the cable scale seems to be fine on this thing. Let's put the cable in there. There's cable. Let's put it up on J4X too. Right there. See that nice little pressure. There's 5 days in a. That's 5 weeks in a cell. And you can see here the last thing does a little screwy thing there. But when we go like this to it, let's just do it from this point here. Like that, you can see was in a buy, and then slid into the cell right there. And so we need to change that, move that so that it matches up for the weeklies up top here. That's one of the things we try to get straightened out also. The scaling, and so it'll be a block a week. You'll be able to compare them. Right now you have to pay attention to it a little bit more, whereas the weekly is much more comfortable and easy. And you can see that, and it's been in a weekly cell for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Over here on the multi-chart, where are we at here? Right there. And it's been 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And over on J4X, it's been 5 weeks. You can see that pressure on it. And see right there. And right there. Interesting. All right. Quiet morning compared to yesterday. We were really rocking with that MVDA and AMD almost most of the morning. And it all played out too. We'll go to that once we go through this, unless someone wants to see it now, which I'm always happy to do. But, everything came to fruition. And, that spread, I thought, if I'd known better, if I was really paying attention to those, and I guess I should pay attention to those now that Giannis wants to hear about that stuff. I would have been buying the AMD spread and selling the NVDA spread, and it really worked out pretty well because I saw the straddle was at $50 on the NVDA, and the straddle in the AMD was $5, and it went to $13, so it doubled. Whereas it doubled and then some. It went to 13 from 5. And so from, was that right? Let me just double check again. No, let me think. It went from 105 to 113. So it picked up $8. Yeah. So it almost doubled. It went to like $9 and change from $5. And the NVDA spread went from $50 to $59. Or $61, something like that. So, it made $11. So imagine if you had bought the right VIG of it, like the old Drexel Burnham Lambert VIG, it would have been super win on the AMD. Interesting. All right. Now from there, we shoot over to, where do we go from here? We go to the Swiss. Let's go find the Swiss. Right there. Dollar Swiss. That's the weekly. It's been climbing for a few weeks. And you can see right here, climbing for a few weeks. In this case here, it's 2 full weeks. But when it comes to the fast algo, it is 4 weeks, just like J4X. And then, let's check it out right here. right there. And that is it's 5 weeks, not 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So that's why I'm saying I'm impressed with this. We're going to extend this to like another 10 weeks back, and we're going to get our scaling right here. Because there's a few products like I think the ruble scales well, the British pound scales well, and I'm not sure, but I think it was the Turkish lira scales well. But we'll see. We're just going to go through them at the same time. Use all three. We're really going to start trying to use this thing and kick the tires on it, and wait for people to give us input on what they think and what needs to be changed. And we're going to try to get it to look a lot like the old chart on multi-chart. Alrighty, but obviously the numbers are more important than anything else than the aesthetic beauty, as far as I'm concerned. Now from there, we go over to here, and you can see the same thing. Now let's put the daily up there on J4X, right there, and you can see it's been very firm ever since that bottom in late July, and everything and everybody's doing the same thing, is climbing. In other words, the dollar has been firm. They think Jackson Hole, they say it over and over and over again, which is starting today, and then Mr. Powell speaks tomorrow, and so I myself think that he'll posture like he wants to lower rates, but he's not going to do it. Whereas the financial markets are basically saying, no, we don't care. We want you to tell everybody you're lowering rates. They're hooked. There's a lot of problems with these high rates. The world is pretty much bankrupt, and they don't sell government bonds at zero for nothing. That's been the whole thing, is that Japan is still a minus when it comes to the 3 month or 9 month or something like that, and Germany only is up into the low threes at best. The only one it's Brazil, which we found. We can see the Brazilian real now off of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. There it is right there. We can actually get quotes now on the futures contract. Can't get it on the spot. Nobody seems to be carrying the spot, but they're trading the futures contract on it, which is interesting. And the interest rates there are in the 11s and 12s also. These BRIC nations really have a problem, don't they? And that was like I said yesterday, we were disappointed. Mexico came out very clear on the 22nd, 2 days ago, and said, thank you, but no thank you. Thank you, but no thank you. Yeah, well, I guess they heard from Doc. They must have been hearing from me in cyberspace saying, you'll be the biggest brick of all. I bet they didn't want that responsibility. And we know that China is no good. It doesn't have the ability to do anything that it says. And the Russian Federation is stuck in between who they're killing next. So now they knocked off the lead general. Russia knocks down the plane of the lead general running the campaign. So that's what fascism looks like. When in doubt, kill the person that you want to, because they didn't do what they were supposed to do, or they need a scapegoat or whatever. But in the end result is that's what it looks like. So when you've got China and they claim that they're picking up 6 new partners, or they've invited. What they did is they invited 6 new partners: Egypt and Saudi Arabia, and I forget who else out of that group. But I've already seen what Saudi Arabia said. Saudi Arabia said, we'll sell you oil in any currency. Yeah, because they'll just transfer it into dollars or gold, one or the other. So it's like, it's not exactly what they keep on promising us, a solid currency that could be used as a world, currency. And so, it has turned into a real fiasco there. It's not able to do what they wanted it to do. I don't know. How else can you say it? No other way of saying it. So, there's Janos. All right, Janos. So I mentioned the spread. Yeah, the AMD was the real. I saw it up to 113 when NVDA got up to like 115 or 515. But the real winner was the AMD more than it was the NVDA. I think when it comes to trading. I was late. Thunderstorm going on. Really? Yeah, we're gonna getting those things too soon. And you're up higher on the planet. And did you see the 2 days ago? I posted some pictures that were kind of interesting. Let's see if I can put them up on the screen here. And what they are is up in Norway. These with the weakened magnetic field we have now, we're down 30% now. And from that, there were some definitely interesting pictures going on there. Let's see. And let's see if I get it up on the screen. There it is. Right there. Okay, now here it comes. There it is. Let's switch it over and you'll see it with us. But yeah, this is what's going on up in your neighborhood there. Can you see? Oh, it didn't switch. There you go. And you see those light beams. The magnetic field is very weak now, especially higher up. So, I mean, we see the aurora borealis in the United States all the way down to Florida sometimes now. So, I mean, that's not far from the equator. That is what's going on there. And what else do we got to say about that? I guess that's it. Now, and how about that? I can get the reel on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, so we can actually on my and it scales well too, which is impressive. So we can actually see the weekly. It's been in a weekly sell for a bunch of weeks, and now it climbed in a daily buy 5 days ago, and sure enough, it took off. And the fast has been up in a weekly buy for over a week now. Let's see if we can make that bigger for you so you can see it. Need to make that line thicker too. So it climbed into the weekly buy last week, the fast, and so it's going on to a second week, and the daily. So it's been a good product if you can trade the options on it or the binaries. All right, let's see what Janos says. What do the algos show from AMD and NVDA for today? Let's go take a look at them. Let's see. Let me see. I mean, they're both very strong at this point. And let's see. Obviously, the spreads have probably... Well, NVDA... there might be a rampage to get their hands on it. They're going to start nibbling even harder because some analysts have moved their price tag to $600 a share now. So from like Webbush and so forth have done that, and a few others they're moving the price tag up higher. So don't be on these tech stocks are kind of like bond vigilantes sometimes. They can be really fast on some products and go flying. All right, let's get that up on the screen here. And we'll put it up on here too. 3 charting systems. I love that. There's NVDA. And NVDA is in the weekly buy still, of course. And it's on the 4th day in a buy. So it's pretty holding up pretty well there. They're not putting it in yet for today, but over here we'll have to get the pre-markets getting into that too. Let's see, where is it at? MVDA, right there. There it is. The pre-market is hanging around the $500 area. It's going to be hard for it to let loose. Now, what is that all about? Why is there a red line in there? It should be green. There we are. Now, that's interesting there. You can see the weekly is just joining in. And let's see, let's go back to it here. It went into the weekly buy last week on the slow and the fast. That's why I said to you, just subscribe for this. We need beta testers. We're not going to sell this thing until we have it all running right. So it could take a couple months. So we need beta testers. Be honest, and I keep on telling everybody that. So which ones are right now? No, they're all firm. You can see the daily is cleanly in the buy with that. Let's put up AMD too at the same time. There's AMD. AMD is climbing. Let's try it in here. Now AMD was in a weekly sell still. And the fast was not even up into the buy. And it's at the top end of its range here. It does seem to be having issues, but it was at a daily buy now for 4 days. So it wasn't, it's been very firm on a very short-term basis. On a longer-term basis, you can see how they've been sideways to down. AMD has that history too. AMD, everybody wants to love AMD, but it languished in the $15 and $20 area for a long, long time. Got up into the 30s and the 40s and then fell back down into the teens and in the 20s. Let's see, it could get my. Let's see, where do we subscribe? Oh, shoot, let me find it again. Let's see. I think I can put a. Go to this first, and then I'll find and I'll prep for that. So I can have it. But go to this one first. Let's see, trading. I swear. That's not it. Every time I have to punch this thing in all the time. Where the hell is it at? For some reason when I go to save it, it doesn't do it. Geez, it's right there in front of me when I go into search. Here it is, right there. Go to the website, hit on subscribe, and Robin will send information over to anybody and everybody. And then tomorrow I'll find, there's even a simpler code. It's like HTTP // and it's like, what is it? It's, hold on a second. It's around here somewhere. Ooh. I think I can, no, I can't do it there because I'm signed in. So let me go here. So what it is go to this one too, possibly right here. Right there when I'm highlighting. Right there on the top of the screen. Ooh, let's do that again. I saw something jump up. I don't know. Something jumped up there a second ago. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Yeah, go to there and go click on the subscribe and just send it over to Robin, and we'll figure it out because we want to bench test this thing for a couple months. We got to make this thing, worth being using. And so far the weekly and the daily do a fine job. So, what else we got to say about any of this? I don't want to really. I wish I could wave a wand and just have a bunch of bench testers, and that's it. I hate talking about it. I know most people would want to talk about subscriptions. I don't want to talk about subscriptions. That's what that Robin does. That I chase the math. So anyway, what else can we say about what are we looking at here? Oh, that's AMD. Yeah, so AMD can't really get going. You know, there's something. AMD, I guess. I don't know if they have bad management or I don't really follow it. But now, Janos, you're making me pay attention to this. So I'll keep my ears to the ground and find out what's going on. But they must have really bad management because I can't tell you how many times over the decades people have talked about AMD like it's the next thing. It's the next thing. It's the next thing. You know, in other words, they all think the chips are great, but there must be some bad juju. You know, it must be some bad magic in there because the stock definitely does not. It took a lot of work to get it up to the 100 point. You know, it's and you can see there on the. Let's go back over to it. You can see right there on the Chicago Quant. I mean, it made its highs back in March and April. You know, it's not playing nice with others. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's May and June. So it made its highs in May and June. And the thing is, like, you know, I don't know, what's that? 12% off, 15% off. That's a lot. You know, I mean, it fell with the rest of the market. Matter of fact, let's put like the S&P 500 in there. I guess in many ways it's probably following like the S&P 500 or something like that. You know, let's see, where's it at? Let's try it right here. So May and June, did that squeeze that up? No. So May and June, you know, that thing reached its height no more than like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I don't know what the AM. You know, we could. I think do I have the socks in there? We should probably look at socks. You know, it's probably got something to do with. Oh, let's see. Robin says mention beta test. Yeah, testers cost money. Testers cost money. No. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's why we want free testers. Like hell, it's a popular job now among IT people. Switch and start it as a tester. There are whole schools training just testers. Cool. From what I know, AMD only moves forward with not new tech. Is that what it is? If AMD and NVDA have the same level tech, NVDA will use better marketing and sales. Maybe that's what it is. Is that what it is? Because for some reason, you know, when I buy a computer, if it has an AMD in there, I'm much happier than if it has an Intel in there. If the AMD let's see. During my video game journalist days, we knew that the AMD was slightly better, but people still liked NVDA due to their cards being adjusted to certain new games. Okay. Namely, NVDA gave them this all makes sense. You're saying stuff that makes sense to me. I understand. I agree with you. It does have that like problem. I can see that. You're making it very clear what the issue is, and it must be part of the marketing also at the same time. And NVDA, you know what? I think they have like an engineer for a CEO or something like that. He's probably like, I don't want to deal with this. I just want to be in the lab. That's what he's like me. I just want to be doing the work. I don't really care. Head of sales should be doing this. And see, namely, NVDA gave their tech for free to developers so that the games run better on the tech, despite the tech being weaker. Having analysis is the same as being paid. True. Agree, Robin. Testers should be looked at between traders that understand the numbers and actually use them. Right, exactly. But yeah, I think I remember the AMD chairman. I think he's got 3 degrees. He's like, material sciences, and he might even have like a PhD in, material sciences or something like that. And he was an electrical engineer, and he's really smart. Last I remember, now I might be wrong, but I could have sworn he was like a real egghead. So he probably when it comes to sale, marketing, it's like, you don't care. Yeah, exactly. I like that, Giannis. Yeah, because we want to kick the tires on this thing. The better we make it, the better it will be. And we can provide it so much easier compared to what we do now. So, no, it makes total sense. But yeah, I kind of remember that. I remember at one time the AMD chairman was like I mean, I remember hearing him talking. I was like, hey, this guy really understands science. Obviously, he does not understand marketing. Because if he understood marketing, they would market that damn AMD chip, and it would be like a $300 stock, not not a $110 stock. But he's probably happy in the lab. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be very cool. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So I don't want you to get in trouble though. We don't need you to get in trouble. Sooner or later we'll get beta testers out there kicking the tires. So yeah, I mean when it came to the spread, like yesterday, my first inclination was when I was looking all the data for you, was buy AMD, sell NVDA. That was my first inclination, but I wasn't recommending it because I don't know what Wall Street was thinking. I wasn't really paying attention to this until you started pushing on it. Now I'm starting to pay attention, and and that would have been a winner chicken dinner. Having a spread go from $5 to $13 compared to a spread going from $50 to $64. Just the 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 beta and the V on it would have been super win. But it was nice to see that it all came out positive. I mean, the options were screaming that they wanted to jack it into the 510 area, and they did. Matter of fact, let's see where it's at right now. Last I looked, it was still around 510. But there it is. That's AMD at 111 basically. But they can be like the bond vigilantes sometimes in the tech world. Ooh, look at that now. That thing is up into the one. Was that 50? Where's that trading at? It's trading at 505. 505. Yeah, and I was saying the last couple of days, Wall Street is saying they think the lows is going to be in August. I don't. That's very odd to me, but maybe that's what's going to happen, and then they'll do a little correction in October from the August lows. In other words, whatever they run them to. Yeah, it's in the AMD now. Yeah, 111. Yeah, I like that. Let's get it done. That's the captain in you. Hey, I see Poland picked up 100 helicopters. I think Apaches. That's like little flying tanks. Those things are vicious. Let me think. It's a $12 billion deal. What else did I see going on? I saw something else going on I wanted to mention. Oh, hedge funds are really bailing out. Let me show you the story. I saw a story in China about China. We've been so far ahead of the curve when it comes to understanding China more than anybody else because we actually use data, not fantasy. We're always hunting data. Data. Let's find it. Let me find that article. It was a really tough article. They said the hedge funds. I saved it, and I was like thinking that I'd talk about it and read a little about it at the same time today. Let me go find it again. There it is. Oh, I think it's the first one, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Look at that. Let's go like that, and then minimize everything else around it. All right, there it is. Now here, they're saying that the hedge funds, which have been backwards to begin with, I mean, they've been plowing so many dollars, they're not going to be able to get their money out of China. See, hedge funds dump record amounts of Chinese stocks in longest selling stretch on record. Not too long ago, investors, especially smart, fast money, loved plunking money down in China, especially during the painful drawdowns. And according to Bloomberg, global investors have sold China blue chip stocks during the longest stretch of outflows in recent and on record signaling that even the nation's blue chip leaders are falling out of favor as never-ending rout deepens. Yeah, China is in bad shape. Bad shape. There it is there. Let's see. Foreign funds dump. Let's say, what is that? That is... Ooh. Is that by the country? Let me put my glasses on this. Oh, that's the companies. That must be the companies that are being dumped. China Merchant Bank. Yeah. These are all getting clocked. It's not that big of an economy. They keep on pretending that they're 19 trillion, but they can't be 19 trillion because everything that we see shows that they are like more like, if they're 9 trillion, they'd be lucky. I think they're in the 6s and 7s. That's my opinion. I think their economy is a $6 or $7 trillion economy at best. I would hope for their sake that it's a $9 trillion economy, but a $19 trillion economy? Nah, it's not there. Let's see. From what I analyzed, I expect that the Poles are set on a course to get their revenge for all that was happened over the last 3 centuries. You know what? I see the same thing. And now that they're the second largest industrial nation on the continent, they can really flex some muscle. They've been beat around like a piñata, like one of those Mexican piñatas at a children's birthday. And they don't want to be beaten around anymore. You know, they're tired of getting beaten up. And so, I mean, the Germans really ripped them apart. The Ruskies ripped them apart. You know, I mean, they killed their citizens in galore, especially the Jewish ones. They really went after them. So, I mean, you know, they killed what? Wasn't it, Giannis, wasn't it their officer corps? Didn't the Russians, like, wipe out, like, 10,000 officers or 5,000 officers in the 40s? You know, just wipe them out? I mean, yeah, I bet there's a lot of angry Polish grandsons and granddaughters that just want payback at this point. Did they do it in all the Eastern European countries so they'd have no opposition, huh? Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you. No, when you look at I'm really glad that I'm focused in on Latvia, Lithuania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Romania, and Ukraine. I'm really glad that I've been communicating with people from there, over the last 11 years. I'm really happy with that because I get a better feel for the growth. It's the growth that I look for. Doc always looks for proof of direction through solid data, not the fantasy stuff from the media. And all I see is young people interested in growing and having freedom and, wanting to stand on their own 2 feet and don't want dictators climbing all over them all the time. And, I've been impressed with the way the old Eastern Bloc has become literally the incubator of success. I mean, if the rest of Europe would follow the Eastern Bloc nations now, it would be a great thing. It would wake up Europe again. And right now, Europe is pretty much a living museum. It's like, wake me up next century. Tell me how things came out. Let's see. They initially invaded and pretended to be survivors, then started their thing. Yeah, namely in 39 and 41. Then the Germans came, and they shot other political side. Anyone with any intuitive basically was dead. Never mind the political or the which side. Yeah, I know they're just vicious, and You would assume that grandchildren and of all the grandchildren now from all those times, in other words, you and Gitta and Polina and so forth. There's got to be long knives. Everybody's got Katrina. There's got to be long knives just wanting to just pay them back. I hear you. I hear you. You're patriots. You really are. You're freedom loving patriots. That's what you are. So, let's see. Yeah, that's really sickening, isn't it? No wonder, That's why I was so happy to see the polls, turn to capitalism and do the right thing. Grow. One size never fits all. I don't understand that logic. One size fits all. That's sick. Yeah, so you can see there China is just losing it again. And matter of fact, let's do this. Let's take a look at the Hong Kong index. We have that up on here. We have the one that Dukascopy has, so we can put it up on Dukascopy too. I see the weekly sell going on there. Where's it at? Right. It's right next to the DAX. I know it is. There is that. There it is. Yeah, that thing's been marching down. See it on J4X, just marching down. And the fast is at 24. Okay, it's trying to make a little turn here now on a daily. Let's take a look at it on the weekly basis. On a weekly basis, it's going to match up with the Chicago Quant. 3 weeks in a sell. It's at 16 in the fast. 40. Is that 40? 40 in the slow. So they're really pouncing on that thing. And you can see right there, it's been doing that glide down on our beta platform. That's what we're going to call it, the beta platform. And you can see today it's trying to lift up a little bit. Money is trying to come in, but look at the weekly. It doesn't look pretty. The fast is not moving up. The slow, it is breaking the slow, but still it's minus. So let's see. Is she really? Yeah, I know. I see. I'm friends with her in LinkedIn. She seems to be doing good. She just jumped jobs about 6 months ago. She's on the involved Gitta I think's too involved in the blockchain and all like that. In the modern. I call that modern banking. These new entities that use crypto technology. And so that basically they're routing around the central banks, which makes sense to me. The central banks are very loose and goosey and not very healthy. So, she was a capitalist. Yeah, it is rather empty here now. Nobody around on this Thursday for some reason. I need to move to writing up NVDA news for notification. Better involve the full name in the acronym or something like that. Yeah, they must. They just went to do manual jobs at the highest bidder. Yeah, that's what I saw. It seems like Git is climbing up some type of ladder, though. Am I wrong about that? It looks like she's climbed into. I saw her in some executive position. Yeah, all client support. I see that. Yeah, I definitely see that. Let's see. What else can I say to you about the MVDA? What I'm hearing on the ground around here is MVDA is they're looking for a $600 target now, and what else is there? They didn't lose what they were making money on. In other words, that gained also. So not only are they gaining from AI benefit, but they're still making money from the other side that they were making money on. That outperformed also. So you got some easy, good writing to do on that. Do your thing. That's nothing wrong with that. I don't know about comfort zone right now. You got a war raging not far from your border. 700 kilometers, and no doubt you're NATO now, so you don't have to worry about it. But I mean, when that started, Polina and I were talking for days. Polina was terrified. She thought that the Russians were going to invade everywhere. She was totally panicked. So, I mean, right now you're doing your war thing, you're doing your marriage thing, and you're doing your business thing, So you just got to, when it's over with, look, when it turns, you'll know when it's time to leave. You know that? When the economy really turns and we get Trumpy back into office here and things start to straighten out, you'll know when it's time to leave. You'll see good opportunity somewhere. If you're happy, you're happy. It's cool. Earnings, yeah, they moved their earnings up so that they're projecting the stock to be $600. So they don't see any downside at the moment. And like I said, what was it? They were making money on the blockchain side with the NVDA, and that had a big win also. So not only did they have AI, what they've done is they've ended up getting another vein or another thread or another income stream in another sector. So they're diversifying in some aspect, chip wise. That's what they're doing, and their chip is catering to a couple different areas that are basically on the cutting edge of technology. So between the AI and this also, the metaverse is not going anywhere, and AI is, and so they weren't leaning into the metaverse, and so they're more a blockchain and crypto and AI, and they're the two growing areas, and everybody's investing in them right now, and that's why the earnings are looking for continuous growth. And you're talking about a 20%, 20%? Yeah, 20% increase in stock price coming. They're looking for over $600. I opened champagne knowing that a new war there means all resources spent there and nothing left for anything else. Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, you're part of NATO. So, in the end result is that, you're covered. And I kept on saying that to Polina. It was like, you're NATO. You don't have to worry about it. So, as much as we got Goofy in there as president, he doesn't have much of a choice. He's got to defend you. So, should have defend. Matter of fact, it looks like he basically gave the Russians a smile when in 2014 as vice president when they invaded the Crimea. So, he's in real trouble. And that whole party they're burning themselves out. They're destroying themselves. We're not destroying them. They're destroying them. All right. What else can we do? Let's do a quick run through everything else. Let's go to where did we leave off? We left off at the Swiss, I think it was. So let's take a quick run of everything and we'll get out of here. So there's the Swiss. Let's go over to the yen. I hear my phone dinging. What's that all about? Okay, let's see. No. All right. There's the yen. You see the yen slipped into a sell there yesterday. It's trying to pop back up today, but it's not enough. But we're concerned. We think this thing wants to go to the 150 area, and you can see it's in that weekly. Over here on the Turkish lira. Whoa! Look at that. They smacked the doodle to the Turkish lira. Boy, this thing is volatile. And I guess, who knows where it'll be at the end of the day. But there's the Euro Turkish lira. And we closed in that weekly buy last week, so they were smelling that sell, which means they're buying Turkish lira. Cool. There's CAD. CAD is heading up again. It slipped into the sell yesterday and it's jumping right back into the buy again. I don't know what's going on there because it's not following the oil market whatsoever. South African Rand making a little turn there. And we saw gold. Let's go over to the metals complex real quick. We've seen gold and silver showing some strength for especially silver. Silver's been in a buy for like 4 or 5 days, and you can see the weekly is being right on the edge. We're only at minus 0.07, and then when we go over to the gold, it's backing off today, made a new high and then backed off. But the weekly cannot seem to get out of its own way, and that's the December contract. Copper, I'm impressed that it's able to bounce off of the 360 area with the way things are going on in China. It's trying to push itself back into the sell, and it's still in that weekly sell. Platinum is holding up, but overall it's in that weekly sell, and the fast has jumped through the zero line. I've never seen, I can't say that again. Let's try this. The metals are acting in many different directions. So silver's not following the gold. Gold is not following copper. Platinum is not. Gold is not following platinum. Their dailies are all over the place. It's very uncertain at this point. From there, we'll go over to the stock indice. And you can see there the S&P 500 is at the lows of the day, but it's still up because of NVDA and AMD and all like that. Let's see. Was there news on the lira? What did they offer now? What trick is up their sleeve now? I'll tell you, I don't think the people are paying attention to the tricks anymore. Let's see if we can get it up on the screen here. Where's that at? I got that currency that we can get it on our platform too. There it is, Euro Turkish lira. And it's in the second week of a sell on our work. Let's put it up on J4X too. I don't know if they can come up with too many more tricks. I mean, they've really burned themselves when it comes to, saying they're going to do one thing and then they go and do something else. That's why the currency has made all-time highs to 31. Went from nothing to nothing out of nowhere. Where's it at? Right there. There's Turkish lira. You see that nice big dip. And that is the weekly. And it's also like our platform. Let's just show you there. And then we're out of here. Our beta platform, same thing. In a weekly sell for 2 weeks because it's been watching the fast. Same thing here. You got two red hinkies. So, all right, traders. Janos, we will catch you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. And this is Doc from North America saying happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, cowboys and cowgirls.